Museo slightly to the new friends here. So, Museo cameras, we are going to complete 5 years this year in August, 19th August, when birthday of photography is celebrated, which was 19th August 1839. So this is going to be our 5th year here, and it's one of the most unique public-private partnership in this country, where we were able to convince the Haryana government and MCG to give us the land and put in some seed money, and we crowdfunded and created this museum, which is based on my collection of more than 8,000 cameras and objects going back to 1860. So besides collecting the cameras, I've been looking at lots of archives from 19th century. And last year, this archive, the original book called Beauties of Lucknow, which was published in 1874, and the photographer, Abbas Ali of Lucknow, with only 21 images, somehow came to me. There are only 6 copies in the world. New York Public Library has one. Victoria and Albert Museum has one copy. I think MAP in Bangalore has another copy, and there are a few collectors with copies. And I was amazed at the pictures, and some of these have been reproduced here. And I was fascinated, and I started studying this subject of Beauties of Lucknow and how the story evolved, and why did Abbas Ali shoot these images. Each image in the book is an original image. Since there was no technology to publish, there was no offset. So each page has an original egg albumin print, which goes back to 1874. I wish we could display some of the original prints here, but we didn't bring them here today. So very warm welcome to Arshia ji and Muzaffar ji. And Rita ji, thanks a lot for coming here. So, you know, when she suggested that Artry will organize something like this, I said, we've been thinking of organizing art talks here. So she said, let it be the first one, and we're going to do one every month. So Thank you very much for partnering this with us. Thank you. So I'm going to hand over to Arnav ji to introduce and take over.
Thank you, Aditya. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of R3, a very warm welcome to you. Thank you for braving the scorching sun and coming all the way to Gurgaon from faraway places like Greater Noida. I see people sitting at the back who've come from Greater Noida even. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to us to know that there are people who not only appreciate all aspects of fine arts, but also take the trouble of doing their bit to encourage event managers and organizations such as ours. Of course, we have a scintillating discussion awaiting, and I promise you, you are going to have a wonderful time listening to the three panelists today, one of whom is going to be the moderator for the evening. You're also free to participate and ask questions or share your thoughts at the end of the discussion. But before that, please put your phones on silent mode. We have chosen a very topical subject in the first of the series of our talks, Vartalap, which, as the name suggests, is conversations centering around a rich Indian culture. I believe that while WhatsApp messages, social media posts are abound and have made our lives much simpler, since all we need to do is watch short videos, read umpteen messages that are most often half-baked, full of fabrication and propaganda, with a spin that is mostly the sender's or writer's point of view. It's rarely that we have a heart-to-heart conversation with all those who are not only passionate about a particular subject, but are experts on the subjects too. Hence, we will be organizing a one-hour talk once every month here at Museo itself. Mr. Aditya Arya has very kindly given us this wonderful space for our periodic talks every month. Yes, we have chosen this topic because exactly a month ago, we saw a web series named Hira Mandi on Netflix that has the subjects of Tawaifs as its central theme. But the similarity ends there. Let me make one thing very clear. We are only using Hira Mandi, the series, as a peg. We are going to talk about various different aspects of the life and times of the Tawaif tradition with the two experts on the subject. And I think people are a little restless, and time is running out. So without further delay, I invite Ms. Pragati Agarwal, founder R3, to tell us briefly about her organization and what led her to its inception 12 years ago, and how the new slight diversification into other aspects of arts has taken place. Pragati.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming this far. It is scorching. Well, it's a little better weather today, but we are really thankful that you all have come this far. Ever since our inception, our organization R3 has been an entity that aims to provide platforms to numerous artists, mostly belonging to the traditional style of work. Keeping in mind our unique primary purpose, we have always curated shows of the most established artists as well as many up and coming visual arts from different regions of India. We have for that reason decided to broaden our horizon and foster understanding of different opinions and ideas. Thus, R3 as an arts organization is looking to be more participatory in its attempt to bring art into public space further. Continuing with the same thought process, we are now expanding our vision and adding yet another dimension to our objective by introducing Art Talks, Vartalap, cultural conversations. That is what we would be calling it, in which a dialogue between the experts, connoisseurs, and doyens of artistic merit will meet and discuss on various areas of interest, from food, art, music, dance, and poetry. By inserting a new aspect, we are enlarging our philosophy to celebrate facets that are equally important in the preservation of our culture. We would like to thank Mr. Aditya Arya for collaborating with us on some very interesting topics that we plan to do. I would first like to introduce our moderator, Ms. Arshia Sethi. Arshia is a two-time Fulbright Fellow, braids art and activism and knowledge through Cree Foundation. Like our other panelists, she is too multifaceted and can easily be called as a cultural ambassador from India. Former dance critic, Times of India, popular TV presenter, advisor, DD Bharti and creative head, India Habitat Center. She has co-authored a book called The Non-Gharanedar, Pandit Mohan Rao Killianpurkar, The Paviour of Kathak, and co-edited and contributed to Dance Under the Shadow of Nation. She edits a new online international academic journal, South Asian Dance Intersections. She has deep interests in many subjects and has a significant body of work in several disciplines. She is an unusual amalgam of scholarship, artistic training, management, activism, with a vision for future. We welcome Arsha Sethi.
Thank you so much, Pragati. Let me thank all of you for coming for this very interesting conversation. And I have no doubt that much of it has been inspired by the debates around the serial that has been mentioned already, Hira Mandi. I'd like to also thank Aditya and Art Tree, that is Pragati and Arnab, for thinking that this subject is important enough to be the inaugural topic in the Vartalab series. And it's for having, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And after having worked so long setting up India Habitat Center, I was there for the first formative 10 years. It's just so exciting to know that another space in the NCR Museo Camera is sort of expanding its wings and including performative arts also as part of its commitment to arts, which we thought all this while was limited mostly to visual culture. So thank you very much, Aditya, for having a wide, open mind towards it. I'm very privileged to be sharing this platform with two of the most distinguished people who understand this subject in India today. Rita Ganguly ji, Professor Rita Ganguly ji, has spent a lifetime at the National School of Drama, and she created a course there for mime and movement, which had never been attempted before. She's been trained, by the way, in both dance and music, and in several genres of music and dance. She's had great teachers, the who's who in the world as her teachers in Indian and Western dance. She is a recipient of the Padma Shri, which was awarded to her in 2003, and the Sangeet Natak Academy Award, which was awarded to her in 2000. One of the most important aspects of Rita ji's contribution is that she, a disciple of Begum Akhtar and Siddheshwari ji, has founded Kala Dharmi, which is a not-for-profit organization, and has within it, under the Begum Akhtar Academy of Ghazal, has done extensive research on the history of tawaifs in the British era. I hope we will be able to take the discussion forward to include what independent India did to the tawaifs also. So I think some of the information that we will get from her will be very important. We need to recognize the fact that those who had seen the tawaifs themselves, or who had first-hand engagement with the tawaifs, are no longer with us. And I recall right now Gurgaon resident Pran Neville, who spent many hours discussing his books on the Nautch girls of the Raj with me, and many other stories that he wrote about in different places. I recall some of the conversations with the historian of Gurgaon, Veena Talwar Oldenburg, and there have been, one of the most defining books in our times has been Tawaif Nama by Sabina Diwan. Sabha Diwan. Sabina, it's obviously your presence here that misled me. Sabha Diwan. There are people who are writing about the Tawaifs, but it's always second-hand. But for us, one of those who made us visualize as authentically as possible the life and times and the art of the Tawaifs was Muzaffar Ali. And I'd like to invite Muzaffar Sahab. Hailed as an artistic genius, recipient of the Padma Shri, Muzaffar Ali ji wears many hats. You know that he's a fashion designer, he's a filmmaker, we're going to discuss that a little bit, poet, artist, cultural revivalist, social worker. I've seen some of his amazing work in calligraphy, which really was startlingly beautiful. Regular son of the soil, UP, studied at La Martine in Lucknow, then at the Aligarh Muslim University. He has brought the times of the Tawaif to us in his defining film, Umrao Jan, which came out in 1981. It was not his first film. He has made many films before that and has been very active on television with several serials. He, along with his wife Meera Ali, who is present here, have set up the House of Kotwara. That is his taluk, isn't it? Kotwara, right. So the Rajas of these, or Talukadars of UP, played a very important role in keeping the art of the Tawaif alive, the patronage that they offered. We find it in history, in some history books, but regrettably, that is always colored by patriarchy. And as the Tawaif was sort of a liminal being, not really within the feminine Zenan Khanas and not quite in the patriarchal domains, she often gets left out in all retellings of history. My first question to you, now that we are sitting together and can have this conversation, is what were your inspirations? What sources did you go to when you were thinking of making this defining film, Umrao Jan, which really, after Pakiza, is the film that most people remember as being the film on the Tawaifs? You might have to turn it on. I had to. Yeah.
Thank you, Arshia, for being in conversation with me. Actually, most of my films, if you see all my films, they've been driven by one thing, and that is human helplessness. And once you get into this, under the layers of human helplessness, you find a lot of subjects, you find a lot of characters unfolding themselves. And the other thing that drives me is really the art that people can bring to the table. I mean, the beauty they can bring to their talent, you know. So these are two very driving things which really drove me to make Umrao Jan. I think you're more interested in Umrao Jan.
I'm more interested in Umrao
But
Jan.
Umrao Jan is also like a helplessness which was in Gaman. So this was a 100-year-older helplessness. It's a story of a young girl who's abducted and becomes a courtesan. So for me, it was not really the life of a courtesan. It was a human tale, and how one goes through these layers of, let's say, challenges that make people what they are, you know. And it's very important that most of the courtesans, I think they share the same predicament, and they are trained in the arts to be able to present that their anguish, their highs and low through poetry and dance, which is, I think, a very big thing, because I think normal ladies, if they are...
At that time particularly.
No, I mean, normal ladies are not driven by those kinds of pains, you know, those kind of challenges. These women were facing a lot of challenges, and these challenges brought out the best in them.
So I feel, as I look at these 21 beauties of Lucknow and any other images that I have seen of Tawaifs, that they're the ones who are looking you straight in the eye, you know. they have this connection, they're making love to the camera lens, and you call them helpless. So how do you deal with this contradiction?
I think that's the soul, you know what I mean? You have to get into the soul. These pictures are frozen moments, you know what I mean? And the photographer is a character, but their soul is there. You know, in fact, I found this album not as a book, but as a friend of mine, he had and this album like a lot of photographs in oval shapes put into these kind of cutout mounts. And this is the Raja of Sahaspur Bilari, you know. So I shot the whole lot. This is about 25 years back. But they were actually shot for the clients. In fact, in my film Janisar, I've used this medium of photography, and I have a character who's an Englishman. He shoots a courtesan, you know. And these courtesans were photographed for clients, you know, so that their books and albums could be sent to the clients, you know.
Yeah. Actually, the courtesan was such a fashionista, such a fashionable figure. As you can see from all these images also, the way they stretch out their leg, the jewelry they wear, the way they hold their heads, twist their necks around and all that. And this was shown to me by Navina Jaffa on cigarette cards on matchbox labels in Czechoslovakia, carried the Tawaif wearing all these exotic non-regular clothes. I'm trying to be as gentle as possible. Non-regular kind of clothes. They were neither Indian nor quite Western, some Indo-West thing. Now, where is somebody in Czechoslovakia going to be taken up by a Gauhar Jan wearing this Indo-West with the Tirchi Topi kind of outfit, you know? So they were the first global icons, I felt, of India. So everybody says that they did not have agency on their lives, but they made the best of the deal that they were given.
Gauhar Jan is an exception. She became one of the greatest products of her time, you know, in terms of music. And she had to be promoted in a big way. She was like anything which is of a consumer nature, you know.
But this desire to sort of make the best of their lives, I see in Jaddan Bai's life also. You know, she becomes daring enough to become the first woman music composer of Bombay films. Is that not a fact?
I think they all had a lot of guts.
They
had a lot of guts in how they faced the world. And the only thing was that people took advantage of them, you know. They had a lot of weaknesses and they had a lot of guts, you know. And people really, I mean, even if you read about Gauhar Jan, it's how she was exploited, and her end was very sad because she had nothing left, you know. And she had reached the pinnacles of glory and, you know, prosperity. So the thing is that they have a lot of guts, and they are very competitive. They are very smart, but there's some anguish in them, you know. There's something beautiful in them, which I think really if you take Indian poetry, you know,
Biraki poetry, the pain.
Just
poetry.
The poets like Ghalib, you know, take Mir, they're all inspired by courtesans. You know? Courtesans were
and it was these courtesans who made their poetry popular.
Yeah, and they made these poets become poets. You know?
Right. Thank you, Rita ji. I'd like to ask you a few questions. And I'd like to ask, so Rita ji did a very important conference under the aegis of Ford Foundation in the 80s on the professional singing women of India. And much of her insights start from that aspect, apart from the fact that she lived and learnt with her ustadans, both of them, Guruma and Ustad. And so she already had a sense of it. But the word Tawaif has a very spiritual connotation, etymology. And yet the first thing that strikes all of us is, oh God, they are about unrestricted sexual access.
Thank you for calling me here, but I'm not going to talk something very pleasant, because First thing, the wives are not courtesan. Courtesan means also sexual flavor. Courtesan has a role to play. And in that, sexual activity is a part of it. But that's not the case of tawaf. This is an Arabic word. Tawaf means production. Going round a sacred place, as you have nowadays, Ram Mandir, 1.5 kilometers of going round production. That is the tawaf. And the people, so tawaf itself is plural. Of course, we have changed that. It is together. It is not one. So if you have to call one person, it should be taifa. Very strange. Nobody has ever corrected. And they're definitely not courtesan. Because in Western culture, there's nothing like that. The entire culture cannot have something other than women are so free. Because women are the best thing that can happen to a woman is to get married and serve the man rest of your life. Otherwise, the person is bad. Because it's man's world. It is man's world, so it should be according to their taste. That is one thing I would like to say. But I'm a great fan of Muzaffar Aliji's Umrah. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And I actually, honestly speaking, I admit that I'm a film buff. And my Ustad Begum Akhtar said, "Beta, ये नहीं कि अच्छी चीज़ें ही देखो, खराब चीज़ें भी देखो, ताकि पता चले क्या नहीं करना है।" तो इस तरह से मैं खराब चीज़ें भी देखती हूँ और उनमें से क्या अच्छा, लेकिन इसने तो दीवाना बना दिया हमें। अब मुज़फ़्फ़र अली जी को देखने से मुझे सब याद आती। एक ही सिनेमा मेरी ज़िंदगी में है जिसको मैंने 4 बार देखा। I really loved it. लेकिन this is the first Urdu novel written by Ruswa. But he had no idea what is the sociological background. मैं आपको अभी फिर कह रही हूँ, कोई भी लड़की अगर abducted है तो cannot be at the wife. उनको बाद में मैं धीरे धीरे बोलूँगी क्यों मैं बोल रही हूँ। चुरा के कोई आ ही नहीं सकता है। अगर कोई लड़की उठाई गई तो उसको रंडी बना दिया जाएगा। That means they will be prostitutions. लेकिन तवाफ जो करते हैं वो उनकी, that means हमारे यहाँ जो पढ़ाई लिखाई करते हैं, जो इंटेलेक्चुअल एक्टिविटी करते हैं, जो कि आम औरतें नहीं करती हैं, जब ये करते हैं उनके उस्ताद होते हैं और वो साधना करते हैं और वो गाते हैं। गाते हैं मतलब दैट इज़ देयर प्रोफेशन। एक फैमिली, इसमें भी गोत्र है। अभी हम लोग के गोत्र हम लोग नहीं मानते हैं। कौन काश्यप गोत्र का है, कौन श्रावण गोत्र का है, कौन और कुछ गोत्र का है। ये यहाँ तक कि मुसलमानों में भी गोत्र है। वो नहीं शादी देते आपस में, चाहे कितना ही बोले सेक्युलर राइट, नहीं, एक साथ खा लेंगे, नहीं शादी नहीं लेंगे। शादी देने के लिए तैयार नहीं, वो नहीं, क्यों उससे शादी करा दे। मैं कई बार बोलती हूँ, अरे नहीं वो तो दूसरे कास्ट का है। अरे वो मुसलमान है, नहीं मुसलमान है तो क्या हुआ, हमसे नीचे कास्ट है, उससे उस घर से लड़की नहीं ला सकते।
Amongst the Tawafs also there were lineages.
The Tawafs were from 2 gotras, Gandharva, Kinnara. These are the gotras from where the Tawafs come. Nothing to do with Muslim or Hindu. I mean, we have failed after so many years of independence to give the real due to the people who came from professional performing artists. They took chillas. That means chillam is amazing, it's so difficult. I have twice taken that chilla, so I know what it is. They have to really practice. They have to practice very hard, right from the morning till evening, till they become. Those days, even when I was very young, there were no auditorium in Lucknow. I'm born and brought up in Lucknow. So the first khat that I understood, learned, was Urdu. And I first religious practices that I've seen is doing namaz. And as a baby, I used to jump in, absolute wee baby, I used to jump into the zanan, those where they spread the food, or go to Abbus, who was a Muslim League, or go to Ansar Harwani, who was a congressman, or go to the great Shah.
Yeah, the Tawaifs weren't keeping Janisar Akhtar.
No,
No?
Janisar Akhtar is the damad of this gharana. Janisar Akhtar Bibi, Sophia,
Ha.
jinki khutut is much better than even Janisar Akhtar's poems. And he was the mother of Javed Akhtar. True. मेरी माँ और सोफिया जी दोनों दुपट्टा बदल सखियाँ थी. It was a big thing. It's almost like marriage. You cannot break the friendship. So dupatta badal sakhiyan, they used to go and promote khadi and handloom. So both myself and Jadu were left with Abu and Buri Amma. I brought up in, of course, Jadu has become much younger than me. But that is the charisma of film world. You every year go down and you become much younger. But we were actually of the same age. And
आप इसको थोड़ा सा अपने पास रखिए. ऐसे
the
करके.
best part is that that's how I know the only thing there were no flesh trading in the chalk. There were quotas. I mean, we are unnecessarily very scandalized with the idea of quota. There were no, even when I was very young, I've never had any. I was a child prodigy at the age of 2. I started, must be something rubbish which I did. But I was a well-known person in whole of UP. I was taken around by Sarojini Naidu everywhere. I don't know what rubbish I danced. But I know that there were no, only little auditorium they had was in the railway head office.
Okay.
Which was very, very bad. So it is the provision of having an auditorium started by 1961 on Tagore's centenary.
That is why we have all these
Rabindra Bhavan,
Bhavans and all.
Rabindra Lodge. I mean, every city has 2 or 3 auditoriums. So where would they perform? That is called quota. They had, and you must know what is quota actually. Quota has all around with mirrors, a proper quota, so that nobody can misbehave. And then there is a tota. That means there is a spiritual message of shuk, the lovebirds. It is for the divine. People practiced from morning till evening, and they were least, and the girl who has the talent, the parents would teach them the music, which is a very hard task. Their food, their discipline, everything. And they were not supposed to be married. Because कौन चाकरी करेगा और नौकरी नहीं बनना है. सुहागरात मनाने से क्या मतलब? सारी जिंदगी उसके बाद बगैर पैसे के नौकरानी बने रहो. ये बीमार हुआ उसका सब्जी.
So that kills the lack of agency argument, as you can see.
But that's true. That's true. Rest of your, once the love is finishes, then you remain. That if a child is ill, who is supposed to take leave if both of them are working?
Acha, Rita
Obviously
ji,
the mother.
you
Anyhow.
know from the inside the life of the Tawaifs because you were
Let me tell you,
spending
I
time.
started my search only when Ammi in 74, to be precise, 26th October. She called me. She had already one heart attack, major heart attack. उनको इल्हाम था कि she may not be living very long. 4th July, on American Independence Day, in Srinagar, she launched me in a big way. बोले इसके बाद तुम हमारे साथ नहीं गाओगी. ऐसा ना हो कि मुनव्वर की तरह तुम्हारी ज़िंदगी हो जाए. गुलाम अली जी ने कभी भी मुनव्वर को अलग से नहीं गवाया. अब उसके लिए मुश्किल है क्योंकि मुनव्वर had totally, he was a very good singer, but nothing compared to the father. He suffered a lot. So मैं ये नहीं करूँगी, तुमको अलग पहले गाना है. So she launched me, and that night she got major heart attack. Thanks to the army hospital, she recovered. We came back, and October she was again going somewhere to give concerts. क्या ज़रूरत है आपको जाने की? बोले बेटा अभी चाल जा रही हूँ, ठीक है, लेकिन एक ही चीज़ तुम रोज़ कहती थी, अम्मी आपको गुरु दक्षिणा क्या दें? अबला. मैंने कहा क्या बोली? 2 चीज़, वो क्या अद्भुत उस्ताद थी वो. मैंने कहा 2 चीज़.
Rita ji, can we put a mic stand for you? Then आपका हाथ नहीं थकेगा. हाँ.
सिंगर से हाथ में रखते हैं हम नहीं.
हाँ, एग्जैक्टली. जो हैं बेगम अख्तर साहिबा and सिद्धेश्वरी जी, were they from the Tawaif tradition?
Siddheshwari Devi, yes. I'll tell you the whole thing.
Okay.
If you have the patience. क्योंकि मैं सालों साल गुजार चुकी हूँ और मैंने ऑलरेडी 84 में प्रेजेंट भी किया. The 10 years of my ustad's death, 75 of Tawaifs came, who were truly Tawaifs, and performed in Kamani Auditorium without any mic.
तो ये खास ट्रेनिंग थी, उनकी कैपेसिटी थी.
Because there were no microphones those days. So the main, I recognized that a very major music conference with Ali Akbar, Ravi Shankar all performing had to be cancelled because there were no microphones.
So even the old Indian musicians were used to using a microphone, but the Tawaifs were
No, it's not Tawaif. There was no microphone at all. Not recognized, not brought into the performing art world at all. Microphone, use of microphone is much later. Earlier, already the great stalwarts were there.
रीता जी सीधा इसमें बोलिए प्लीज.
नहीं सुन पा रहे.
अब मेरी तरफ मत देखिए, आप इनकी तरफ देखिए. आई एम द सेम.
देखने का कुछ नहीं, आप सुनिए. बात ही है कि ये जो उन्होंने हमको काम को जिंदा रखना, अब जिंदा कैसे रखें? बेगम अख्तर को जिंदा रखना मामूली बात है. आफ्टर दैट मैं शुरू करी हर दूसरे महीने में एक प्रोग्राम रखना जहाँ लोग अच्छा गाते उनको चांस देना. और फिर मुझे उन्होंने कहा कि बेटा मैं तवाइफ नहीं हूँ. मुझे जिस वक्त मैंने गाना शुरू किया था तब तवाइफ होना बहुत इज्जत की बात होती थी. मेरी माँ 1 लाख रुपये, बहुत होता था, 1 लाख रुपए देने को तैयार थी to make me Tawaif, but the Tawaif community did not accept.
So the Tawaif community has to accept?
Yeah, you have to be in that family. So that is this abduction. क्योंकि रुस्वा जी सोशियोलॉजिकल एरिया नहीं पढ़े थे और किसी को पता भी नहीं था कि उड़ाए हुए लोग तवाइफ नहीं बन सकते हैं, न वो गाना बजाना कर सकते, वो सीधा रंडी बनते हैं। लेकिन जो दैट मीन्स हमारे देश के सिंगर्स जो थे, प्रोफेशनल सिंगर्स were traditionally maintained by women, and their ustads were of different gharanas of the great potentiality. Like, if you go to Bombay, there's a Grant Road, which is the red light area. Next to that, just before that, is Congress House. When I started working, I went around all over the place. I even went dressed up as a man with little money, with टोपी वोपी पहन के, तो थिएटर सिखाना हमारा काम ही है, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है। तो करके हम गए थे और देखने के लिए एग्जैक्टली होता क्या है, मुजरा होता है क्या, लेकिन वो मुजरा अब है ही नहीं। लेकिन एक्चुअली मुजरा मीन्स, हम लोग जैसे हम अपने राजस्थान में हम जाते हैं तो हम अपने बड़ों को कहते हैं मुजरा हुक्म, हम जो कोई हमारे बाईसा कहते हैं, हम अपने ननद को बाईसा सुनो।
Actually, this is very interesting that you say that in Rajasthan also you have that mujra hukum thing.
It is called mujra. And
Yeah.
not only that, you were baisa, baiji. I had to call my nanad baisa, my elder nanad baiji. It was a big family. So everybody had something which is unnecessarily been defamed by the people. The whole problem started when they had exquisite drinks, alcohol. They knew how to cook. So everything is rasa swadan. If you've read Natya Shastra, you will understand it comes under that. Whereas it is not an obligation to, if you have enjoyed. Now, if you ask me, how is that you know everything and you still enjoyed Umrah Jan? Yes, because the aim is that Rasa Swadan. I've enjoyed. The work of any person need not give you all the other areas, need not work as a social worker.
So I find this very interesting that you talked about the mujra that you offer the elders in your family, because in my work on Satriya in Assam,
Yeah.
which you know is a dance associated with the Vaishnav monasteries, the most significant and opening piece in the dance is called the Sutradhari dance.
Correct.
And there is like the Kathak ka Chakrwala Hatma, that is known as Mujura Hath. So you offer the prayer. It is a prayer thing. That is why sometimes I felt that this recent political reference to the mujra was sort of a, what do you call it when you have an automatic reaction? कुछ सोचना चाहिए, जैसे हमको तवाइफ का भी सोचना चाहिए था, हमको मुजरा का भी सोचना चाहिए था. What does it mean? The other thing I wanted to just make a small mention of, in my work, which was done a long time ago on the links between tawaifs and kathavachaks, I found it very interesting that even if a slightly raunchy song was to follow, the introduction to the song was always done by a doha that was out and out spiritual. And the third thing that I think that I'd like to highlight, drawn from what you're saying, is that even in Delhi, it's many Sufi shrines. You know, Delhi is known as the gateway of 22 great Sufis. There is every Sufi shrine used to have a mela in one day of the week, and the tawaifs would go and offer their mujura there.
जैसे कलैयर शरीफ,
Yes.
कलैयर शरीफ में हर एक तवाइफ जो गाती है, जो कोई भी इंटेलेक्चुअल का परस्यू करती है, they definitely would go to कलैयर शरीफ and do the mujra. They perform. But this mujra has been maligned. The tawaif has been blamed as courtesan. सबसे बड़ी बात है कि हमारे देश में जो काम करते हैं इस किस्म की, वो तो विदुषी कहलाती है. लेकिन वरना जो उसको तवाइफ जैसे जो होती थी, क्योंकि पहले यज्ञ यश्वमेध यज्ञ से पहले बहुत संपूर्ण शिक्षित महिला को भी इस चांस होता था वो जाके वहाँ कुछ गाना. That is the most sacred and most difficult thing is Ishwamedh Yajna. And they were called Nagar Vadhu. What does Nagar Vadhu mean? आपकी देश की जो वधू है, जो दुल्हन है, उसको आप देखते हैं, उसकी शक्ल देखते हैं, not with desire. You are supposed to admire a दुल्हन. So it is a Nagar Vadhu. पूरी नगर की वधू है, क्योंकि they never wanted to marry. If they got, but they had affair, of course. Even people who are married can have affairs. What's so big about it? This is hard. I mean, the entire world is actually not polygamy is a natural thing. It's only human being are restricted to one marriage. The entire world, you see, they meet, they mate, and they say goodbye. And they find another.
Rita ji, can I ask a question to Muzaffar Sahab here? So, in whatever I have done by way of writing on Tawaifs, I find that 1857 becomes a very important turning point
Yes.
in the whole story of the Tawaif. Apart from the fact that we actually have instances of the Tawaifs fighting the 1857 war or making their quotas available for discussions and all that, for the rebels. When the British government takes over from the East India Company, they introduce 2-3 laws, and they are really what destroys the spirit. Andar se tod deti hai the Tawaif ko. One of them is the Cantonment Act. The other is that, what is it called? Some Diseases Act.
Yes.
Yeah, where they, all this.
Infectious.
Yeah, venereal disease. The infamous 2-finger test starts then. Because till then, the British people in India, East India Company, were chadas. They came in as solo men. They weren't bringing in their families. The Suez Canal route was too long, and then the Suez Canal gets created, and it's easier for the women to come. And so in the earlier, prior to 1857, you have many images of David Ochterlony watching Mujras. He had a Indian wife and all that. But then suddenly, the British, in the fear that sexually transmitted diseases would spread and weaken the British soldiers present in India.
About
and hence,
70% of the soldiers had venereal diseases.
yes. So then they introduced these acts, public hygiene acts, including the 2-finger test, the lock hospitals where the women would be locked up till they had been sort of cleared of the venereal diseases. Is this part of the public understanding of the Tawaifs, that all Tawaifs were painted in one stroke? Deredar Tawaif ho ya, Kanjars ho, koi bhi ho. There were many categories of Tawaifs, and also many categories of how they presented their arts. Khadi Baithak, or Baithakichi. You have, by the way, Tawaifs in across thing. Even Maharashtra, the Lavani dancers, Baithakichi, Lavani, there is some similarity between them. But in UP, which was really a big center for Tawaif life, was
Awadh.
there this? Awadh, sorry.
Actually, this is the subject of my film Janissar, which is actually in different times, there have been different behaviors and different rules and laws. I think in the time of Umrao Jan, it was a watershed period. It sort of ends on 1857, And before that, it was the courtesan was, ab courtesan kahiye, Tawaif kahiye,
I would request you to say Tawaif.
अब वो आपने कहा कि वो पैदा जब तक नहीं होगी और एक्सेप्ट नहीं होगी, पता नहीं उमराव जान को एक्सेप्ट किया था या नहीं किया था. अब उनको मैं क्या कहूँ, ये बताइए. व्हाट शैल आई कॉल है, वो तो अबडक्ट होके आई थी ना।
गौहर जान, बिल्कुल
नहीं नहीं, गौहर जान नहीं, मैं उमराव जान को हम क्या कहें।
इसका आंसर हम इसकी जब अपना खत्म करेंगे हम बोल देंगे, क्योंकि
नहीं तो मैं क्या
बेगम
करूं?
अख्तर,
आप उमराव जान ही कह
हाँ मैं उमराव जान का,
उमराव को-
लेकिन उमराव जान इज नॉट जेनेरिक।
उमराव जान टाइप।
उमराव जान टाइप 1। तो गदर से पहले पहले तो जो उनका जो जिसे कहना चाहिए उनके जो कदरदान थे वो तो ज़्यादातर नवाबीनों में से थे।
जी।
लेकिन धीरे धीरे करके, और अच्छा इससे पहले अंग्रेज, मैंने एक और फिल्म पे मैं काम कर रहा हूँ विच इज़ सेट इन 1799 एंड इट्स अ कंटूनमेंट कल्चर, यू नो, वेयर द नवाब्स आर देयर। तो उसमें ताइफा जो है वो आता था बाय बोट, और वो हर कंटूनमेंट टू कंटूनमेंट जाता था। दे वेरी एंड अंग्रेज़ जो था वो फ़ारसी सीखता था, उर्दू सीखता था, कथक समझता था, एंड देयर वाज अ वेरी हाई लेवल एक्सचेंज।
These are the Orientalists.
This is the Nawabs.
Yes.
But they were the people of the East India Company who had taken over after defeating the Nawab of Bengal and the Mughal forces 18 बक्सर के बाद।
जी, जी।
तो बक्सर के बाद जो एक कल्चर अंग्रेज़ों में आया, तो एक तरफ तो वो दे हैड द रिफाइनमेंट, because they had all the time in their life, there were few people and they could cherish the whole culture. अब ये जो आप बात कर रही हैं 1890 की, ये बिफोर द 1870 वगैरह, जब बड़ा भारी फैमिन आया था, तब तक इनकी जो एक्सप्लॉयटेटिव मशीनरी थी इतनी ज़बरदस्त हो गई थी कि आई मीन somebody should really write a book on the dialogue between our culture and them, you know what I mean, the exploitation that took place. And they were, I mean, they had, this whole film is, the premise is that how the whole dignity of the kotha is shattered because of these tests.
Yes.
And this the madam of the kotha dies because of the insult, you know. तो ये तो एक बहुत बड़ी एक चीज़ कहना चाहिए, आपकी तहजीब पे एक तमाचा था
जी। एंड दे यूज्ड द रूब्रिक ऑफ लॉ, जो कि काफ़ी रिस्पेक्टेबल टर्म है, लॉ टॉक्स अबाउट ऑर्डर, टू ब्रेक द बैक ऑफ द तवाइफ्स। आई वॉन्ट टू लीड नाउ इन टू पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंट इंडिया। You know, one of the first legal provisions that was passed, legal acts, was the Prevention of Dedication to the Temples, the Prevention of Dedication Act, and the Anti-Notch Act. The two movements were going on at the same time. An Indian elite trained in Western ways was rising. It included women leadership. Dr. Muthu Lakshmi Reddy was hailing from a Tavaif background, a Devdasi background herself. Devdasis were what they were known in the southern part of India. They were dedicated in a temple, but they had many roles to play apart from the temple life as well. So basically, they can be compared. They were independent women, they were women with agency of a sort, and they were women who defied acceptable sexual norms. My work has been on the celibate monk, and I can't help but bring the two together as the fact that post-independent India also had a very big problem with sexuality, whether of male or female, whether too much or too little, as in the case of the celibate monk. It was not something that the state was willing to accept. If it deviated from an acceptable median of marriage and, you know, accepting patriarchy, binary, a man-woman marriage, there were many queer arrangements earlier. But the minute the legal system comes into play in India, whether it is this anti-dedication or anti-Tavaif laws, which is 1947, by the way, they get passed. The movement has started from 1890, and then but also those that celebrated the other way of life, the more regular way of life, where the Hindu Marriage Act, for instance, did not have provision for the chota ghar, the outhouse where the other woman or the tawaif or the baiji used to be kept. They did Deredar tawaif also. And the third act that I want to mention here is the Suppression of Immoral Trafficking Act that goes by the euphemism Sita, 1958. There were raids, जो भी बच्ची कुची culture थी of these professional singing women, Banaras, Kanpur, in some of the lesser towns also, Muzaffarnagar, I think.
Muzaffarnagar.
Yeah. वहाँ पे पुलिस की raids होती थी. And they would go in screaming, shouting, using the worst terms for these women. How long? It's a hard struggle to be an artist under even the best of circumstances. But imagine when that struggle is constantly interrupted by abusive attacks. And so I fear that the law, instead of protecting these very special and gifted women, was being judgmental about them.
Why?
was-
Devdasi Act. They stopped all those people who were performing. And the worst thing is, I mean, Gauhar Jan had her own saloon. She was independent, and wherever she was the highest taxpayer. At those days, she used to pay 7,000 per annum as a tax paying. And she had a gadi fitted which had 7 horses. But only the viceroy can have 7 horses. So every time she took out her fitted, she would be fined 1,000 rupees at those days. And one day, this person came that said, told viceroy that somebody is riding 7 horses, call her. So she said, okay, I'll come. She went there, and viceroy took little time. She was sitting in the drawing room. Then she got up and she was about going. Then viceroy came. You see that since you are a guest, that's why I've come. I need not do any salutation to you. You should be in time if you're viceroy of this place. First thing is that. They said, I believe you have 7 horses. Yes, I feel like having 7 horses. But if it hurts you, you are my guest. I can remove. But otherwise, giving 1,000 rupees every day is no problem for me. So this is what she was.
Yeah.
Not only that, Gaur Jan was invited by Indore Maharaja. And she performed. After she performed, and he was so impressed. She really sang well. She sang, of course, in 32 languages. Not only in Hindi, Urdu, Bangla, Italian, French. In every language she sang. After she finished, so she said, Gaur Jan, आप जरा उस चादर को हटाइए, सब आपका है. Chadar? She removed, and so it's full of silver coins. With that entire thing is made. So she said, आपने मुझे दिया, मैंने कबूल किया, बड़ी शुक्रिया. अब ये आप इसको अपने खादिमों में तकसीम कर दीजिए. She knew how to insult people. क्या मतलब रुपए में बैठा रखा. But then she also eventually at the end died of syphilis gonorrhea. She was deeply involved with a very well-known Tumli singer, and that's how she got into it. I know it because my uncle, Sunil Kumar Boshe's father, was a doctor and specializing
Treating her.
in gonorrhea syphilis. That's how I know it.
So the independent India did not look upon these artists as repositories of great cultural knowledge and were willing to dismiss them. The first minister for information and broadcasting, उस वक्त तो सिर्फ रेडियो होता था, television hadn't come in, banned the professional
Sardar
women.
Patel. He was the first information minister and he banned the women, saying that everybody who's singing from All India Radio has to give a marriage certificate. That was the.
या और इससे पहले जब इंडिपेंडेंस का स्ट्रगल चल रहा था, सो महात्मा गांधी वेंट, आई थिंक इट वाज वर्धा और सम प्लेस लाइक दैट, ही डन दिस ग्रेट स्पीच where he asked people to donate money for this freedom struggle. Everybody donated. Then when he returned home, wherever he was staying, he saw a group of women standing outside, and he says, "Who are these people?" So the friend said, "Ab rehne dijiye, chhod dijiye," and all that. He said, "No, maybe they want to donate something to the struggle." So he says, "Yeah, actually they do. So call them in. So, but who are they?" He said, "They are the professional singing women of this area." So he gave them a big lecture that surely you don't want to do this dirty work and things like that. But he was quite happy accepting the money. So a little bit of India's freedom, I guess, owes much to the professional singing
M.L.
women.
Subbalakshmi was greatly patronized by him. She was a Devdasi.
But she got married. Compared to the contrasting story of Bala Saraswati, the dancer Bala, who didn't get married. Bala had to find her validation at Wesleyan University. That still the Bala legend is there, very strong. I've lectured there, and I tell you, they are just so taken up by her. So she had to go to the West to be able to get the validation. She didn't find validation here. So also another thing, when we set up Kathak Kendra and institutions like that, given the fact that the art of the Tawaifs was very close to Kathak, was Kathak in a manner of speaking, not the kind of Kathak that Mohanrao Kalyanpurkar made, on whom I wrote the book, but they didn't have any place for the women. But they had place for the men of the homes, of the families, or the men who taught, including the Sarangiyas, who would not accept that they had played with any of the Baijis, but they were happy to come into and become Ustadjis and all that. So it was a patriarchal thing till the end.
Ashya, हमारे देश में there are gharanas. There is a Bindi Bazaar gharana. That is, Bindi Bazaar means bazaar behind the bazaar. Behind the bazaar became Bindi Bazaar. So Chajju Khan, Nazir Khan. I mean, all these things is in record because I had a great conference after the 75 Tawaif sang without any microphone. And then I took a permission, special permission to take them. I took them to Indira Gandhi. And they said, "We are singers. If you have stopped our music chamber at 8:30, we'll starve. Because by the time it is any person who earns enough can spend money and come and listen to it. A person who is by the time you close your shop or close your office, you reach, you have freshened up, and you come to listen to a music. It cannot be 8:30. Whereas all the fresh traders, रंडी खाना आप खोल के रखते, उसका कोई टाइम नहीं. कोई गाना गाता तो उसको बंद करना है. Not only that, the worst thing that when Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel stopped these girls singing, we lost the entire activity of Kesarbai Kerkar, Mogobai Kuntikar. And do we realize that the best of performances, it runs in your genes, the best of performances even now is Lata Mangeshkar. She is from the Tawaif Gharana. Or Asha Bhosle. They are all from Tawaif Gharana, but they dare not say that because there is no acceptance. It's very sad.
We have
बहुत पुराना जाने की जरूरत नहीं, अभी की बात.
invisibilized the Tawaif. She's still there somewhere. between us, around us, but we've completely invisibilized it. Now, one question I want to ask you is that the one wife that I met who was still practicing and wanted to sing and everything was Zarina Begum from Lucknow. Have you done some conversations with her, some research? What is your feeling? She's no longer there, but she was the last wife that I met.
जी हाँ हाँ, उन्होंने बहुत काम किया हमारे लिए. हुस्ने जाना में सारी म्यूज़िक उन्होंने की, और फिर एक और हम फिल्म बना रहे थे, उसमें शी वाज सिंगिंग. एंड इनफैक्ट वो कव्वाल मेरा था, वो नूरुल हसन, वो और जरीना मैंने बम्बई बुलाए थे. तो एक हमारे जो सुपरवाइज़र थे वो साथ गए थे. कह रहे मियाँ इतना आपस में गालियाँ बक रहे थे कि मुझे बड़ी शर्म आ रही.
बेहतरीन गाली बकते हैं.
हाँ,
उसमें भी उपज चाहिए, आपको समझ नहीं आएगी कि किस तरह.
हम लोग असल में क्या आधे कच्चे आधे पक्के अंग्रेज हैं. अब जब कन्वीनियंट हो जाता है तो हम ये बन जाते हैं, जब कन्वीनियंट हो जाता है तो हम मतलब हिंदुस्तानी बन जाते हैं. हम लोगों में कोई मतलब ना समझने की तमीज़ है, ना गुफ्तगू की तमीज़ है, ना महफिलों को सराहने की तमीज़ है, ना सजाने की तमीज़ है. हम लोग बिल्कुल अंग्रेज़ हो गए हैं. अब उस अंग्रेज़ियत में जितना हम लोगों को मिल जाता है, ये जो सारे एक्ट्स हैं अंग्रेज़ों के बनाए हुए, हम इनको चाटते रहते हैं, वकील बन जाते हैं, इनकी लड़ाई लड़ते रहते हैं. वी लॉस्ट एवरीथिंग, यू नो. कहाँ से अंग्रेज़ों
ज़माने
ने
में राजा उमराव ये लोग जो लोग थे, वो लोग आई मीन अच्छे लोग. फॉर इंस्टेंस औरंगजेब मैरिड सम रस्क, फर्स्ट वाइफ was that the wife. So was Wajid Ali Shah's first wife, Hazrat Mahal.
अब ये बहुत लोग नहीं बिलीव करेंगे, पर महाराजा रंजीत सिंह वाइफ
Married
मोरन सरकार was a wife. Yeah. So, like I said,
The
it
wife
wasn't
means
something.
literate, educated, emancipated girls. That it does not mean anywhere that they are prostitutes. No.
The records, property records of the country show a lot of properties in the name of women. These were all your tawaifs जिनके नाम पे ये property records दिख रहे हैं. अच्छा, by the way, this is supposed to be a two-way thing, you know. I mean, please ask your questions. We've been at it for a while. So if there are any questions, we'd be very happy to take them. I mean, these two have the knowledge and experience.
Essentially during the British time, when they did not understand the intellectual activity, they did not understand the cuisine or the beautiful liquor that was served. They wanted only flesh and blood of the woman.
ये हीरा मंडी में भी आपको इसकी कुछ झलक दिखती है. It may be wrong on many levels, but you get the sense of that. Are there any other questions? Yes, please.
I was very curious. You said you took the 75 women to meet Indira Gandhi, where you kind of said that why are they shut at 8:30. I'm very curious to know what was her response to that.
She said, "पता करो, बंद करो, कोई time bar नहीं होगा." And she was removed.
Okay.
हाँ,
Okay.
during that time
Okay.
it was
Yeah.
removed.
I wanted to
Oh
ask.
yes, and not only that, because it was removed, I was taken to Congress House, which that Congress House was originally for Tawaifs. It is a Grant Road, which is for flesh traders. Grant Road is actually Randi Khana red light.
It was known as Lal Bagh. Red light areas were known as Lal Bagh.
Lal Bagh. There in the Grant Road, they actually weighed me with money. Everybody gave little money, and on the other side I was sitting. And then they clean, and after that, they broke the whole thing, which was spoilt by the flesh traders. And again, few musicians went there and started staying. I don't know what has happened to it now. But that was I had a seminar. You must know that these people is just not like that. I mean, they have in Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, there are altogether, there are 14 dhad.
14 what?
Dhad. They call it
Dhad.
dhad.
Like
Dhad.
body ka
Body,
dhad,
yeah.
ang.
And each dhad has a chaudhary. Even now, Girja Devi's house do not follow Indian law. The entire professional singing community have their own law, which was decided by the head, जो चौधरी होगा. जैसे पहले तो कंठे महाराज थे, उसके बाद किशन महाराज हो गए चौधरी. इसी तरह से कलकत्ते में एक अलग अलग जगह पे अलग अलग चौधरी होते थे, अभी भी हैं. और इस तरह से अभी भी वो रामेश्वर चौधरी इज़ फ्रॉम मुजफ्फरनगर.
तो मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछ सकती हूँ. इवन अमंग्स द हिजरास यू हैव lineages.
यस.
Is there some commonality?
नहीं, हिजड़ा का भी रिसर्च हमने किया. और while I was actually it just accidental, I was looking for अपना मशहूर गाने वाली जो है, अरे अभी गई है, शोभा गुट्टू. शोभा गुट्टू जी comes from a professional singing woman's family. And her mother, Menaka Bai Shirodkar, was a very well-known dancer, singer. Very good looking, very well-known. Her daughter was Shobha Guttu. And Guttu ji used to go there and he used to record. So it's a big Guttu collection which I have collected and given it to, unfortunately, to Sri Ram Bharati Kala Kendra, which I shouldn't have. But because what they did, immediately sent them to those days. There was a Polydor thing. They said, and all said and done, it came back to me for their opinion. Then I said, what is this? This is my collection. Who has given you? Then I believe Shobhaji had given that to be printed. You can't do that because there's a copyright area. You cannot.
So ये जो आपने copyright की बात की, ये एक बहुत important thing we need to recognize. All the songs in Hindi films that are quote-oriented, whether it is the Mohe Panghat Pe and all that, and many of the songs that we love singing today all have origins in the work produced by the tawaifs
Yeah.
and the professional singing women. Not one dancer, and I have some dancers present here, and this is a point that you need to think about. Not one dancer or singer has ever even done an acknowledgement. आज हम अमेरिका जाते हैं तो लैंड एक्नॉलेजमेंट करने बैठ जाते हैं, पर आपने अपनी कंट्री में इनको एक्नॉलेज भी नहीं किया. द मैनी फेसलेस नेमलेस वुमेन फ्रॉम हु प्रिजर्व्ड आवर आर्ट फॉर years and years and years, and today we can enjoy it sometimes in sort of slight changes in words and things like that. But this is a question of appropriation. I think some very tough questions need to be asked. आपको जिक्र करना चाहूँगी जी कि नीरजा जी कि किसी टाइम आप स्पीक मके में ये सवाल उठवाइएगा. ओके, चलो मेरी एक्टिविज्म हो गई.
असल क्या है कि उस ज़माने में एक ज़माना था जब पटौडी यानी भोपाल विच इज़ द कैपिटल, उस ज़माने में क्या होता कि आपके घर कोई शादी है किसी राजा महाराजा के घर, सबके पास नहीं होता जाएगा एक कोई ज्वेलरी कुछ मिठाई ये के साथ कि आप आइए. 1 महीने पहले से उनके यहाँ शामियाना लग जाएगा, तंबू पूरा एरिया में एक बड़ी जगह पे रख दिए जाएंगे. एक कॉर्नर में ह्यूज बावर्ची खाना पकता रहता है. सब लोग अपने अपने गवैये को भेजते थे. यानी कश्मीर से आया कोई बनारस से आया, कोई ये लोग आए, अलग अलग एरिया से आए. लेकिन उस ज़माने में सिर्फ भोपाल ऐसे था जहाँ की हेड पर्दे के पीछे बैठती थी, वॉज अ वुमन. It was, I mean, run by a woman, but they were not the direct. She was the heir. उस ज़माने में एक न्योता गया चारों तरफ और सब लोग आए वहाँ पे. ये मैंने खुद मेरी उस्तानी बेगम अख्तर साहब से सुना है. अम्मी ने कहा था कि बेटा हम लोग सब जाते थे गाने के लिए. हम तो बुलाए गए क्योंकि मैं तो तवाइफ गिनी ही नहीं गई थी, लेकिन मैं तब तक सिनेमा में बहुत मशहूर हो गई थी.
So many of the Tawaifs found the new life for themselves in cinema.
The entire world of cinema started with the Tawaifs. Everybody.
Jaddan Bai, one has mentioned her daughter Nargis, Saira Banu, so many of them.
Saira Banu, and not only the last person who of Delhi घराना जो ये लोग कह रहे हैं, दिल्ली घराना, ये नीलम बाई जो was also a Chaudhary of Bombay Dad, Uttam Kumar or Neelam Bai. They are the Chaudhary. Neelam Bai, I think, is just expired. She's the Neelam Manzil. If you go to Rattenden Road, you see a huge house. They were very rich. So Neelam Bai said that we were asked to produce the marriage certificate. Otherwise, we were not allowed to sing. With the result, there's hardly any recording available in All India Radio. We are all, I'm a product of All India Radio. I didn't have any, there is no partiality, nothing. You sit for an audition, you get selected, and slowly you go up. It's such, and all that is finished with the latest government by making it some kind of क्या कुछ बनाया उन लोगों ने, तो बंद है. अगर आप कोई भी ऑल इंडिया रेडियो को अगर कोई सुनता नहीं, हम लोग पहले सुनते थे क्योंकि नेशनल प्रोग्राम, ट्यूसडे प्रोग्राम, इवनिंग संगीत सभा, we used to hear.
Yeah, there was not so much distraction, so everybody heard the national program. Well, Doordarshan to started pushing its national program since I was on it as the one introducing. 11:30 baje. But it had to happen that day. So kabhi 12 bajne ko 1 minute pe they would put it in, and then you would. Who watched? Anyway, we lost the moment.
लेकिन क्या हुआ उसके बाद जब वहाँ पर गए थे, ये अम्मी से सुना है मैंने कि वहाँ सब लोग आए थे, अच्छे अच्छे लोग. हालांकि इट इज़ देयर दैट आई गॉट आप जानते होंगे वन ऑफ द मोस्ट रिस्पेक्टेड सिंगर जो एवरीबडी आई मीन swears upon her is Kesarbai Kirkar. I could find in their collection, she was very beautiful in a dance costume. And she confirmed it, Ammi. Yes, she danced. She danced very well. Then all the Tawais would, a huge room, everybody would be given some time and they could all come and dress up. And there, in the corner, there was a lady sitting. Plain ordinary धोती पहन के, कोई गहना है ना कुछ नहीं. बाल को खींच के बहुत लंबे बाल उसके चोटी बना के, तो अम्मी जैसा डिस्क्राइब करती थी, अद्भुत. तो उन्होंने कहा, बोरे में बैठे, तो बाकी लोग तवा करें किसके साथ आई होगी नौकरानी, कुछ तो समझ लिहाज करते, कोई कपड़ा तो अच्छा देते. नौकरानी ले जाओ किसी जगह पे, उसको भी तो कपड़ा देना चाहिए. सब ये बोलने लगे. इवेंचुअली सब लोग गाए. उसमें हमारी सिद्धेश्वरी देवी गाई, शंभू महाराज जी गाए और भाव दिखाए, केसरबाई केरकर नाची और गाई. ऐसे अच्छे अच्छे लोगों ने, सब ने गाना गाया और ऐसा रंग जम गया. तो इतने में बनारस नरेश आए और आके बोले, नवाब साहब अब तो सारी रात ख़त्म होने वाली है, थोड़ा गाना तो सुनाइए. गाना. अम्मी से आई सो एंग्री, हु इज दिस फेलो. हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, झक मार रहे सारी रात, सब लोग गा रहे हैं, सब लोग नाच रहे हैं. अम्मा गाना सुनाओ, कुछ ठीक गाना सुनाओ. फिर आप बोलिए, हुक्म करिए. चलो मैना बाई आ जाओ. सुवा की यूँ बैठी, आदाब किया। वही औरत जिसके पास न कपड़े थे न जेवरात थे, कुछ नहीं। आदाब किया, कहे सरकार मेरी तबीयत नासाज है तो मैं बैठ के गाऊँ। यानी उस ज़माने में कोई बैठ के नहीं गा सकता था। तबला गले में लगा के, सारंगी गले में लगा के, जो भी चाहिए, खंजनी हो तो हाथ में ही होता है, लेकिन औरतों को भी खड़े होके गाना पड़ता था पहले, मुजरा करके। दे डेयर नॉट सिट इन फ्रंट ऑफ द रॉयल्टी। तो सरकार मैं इतनी देर खड़ी नहीं हो सकती हूँ करके वो बैठी और मुजरा किया और कहा मुबारकबा, और सब लोग वाह वाह करने लगे। ऐसा मुबारकबाद हो गई कि उसके बाद इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट स्टोरी आई एम सेइंग, बेगम साहब रियलाइज क्या ज़िंदगी ख़राब कर ली मैंने, मुझे तो गाना ही नहीं चाहिए, ये तो गाना ही नहीं है मेरा जो गा रही हूँ मैं। फिर वो जो बेगम अख्तर जो गाई, उसका गाना सचमुच के किराना घराने के हैं। वो वापस गई और बहरे वहीद खान साहब को अपने पास लेके आई, वहाँ से सीखने लगी। उनका ये जो खूबसूरत आवाज़ है, उनकी जो बारीक काम करने की जो हिम्मत है, छोटी छोटी मुर्गी छोटी छोटी तान वो जो देती है, वो बहरे वहीद की वजह से है।
Actually,
Voice
Rita ji is
complete.
one of the finest raconteur of the life of the Tawaif. So that this is just one story. There are endless stories that she can sing. We are running out of time, and I want to ask Muzaffar ji one question. Maybe this would be the last question, unless you all have
What
some
about the
questions to
audience?
answer.
They might like to ask.
हाँ वही तो मैं बोल रही हूँ, unless you all are very good. पहले last question को रोक लेते हैं, आप लोग पूछिए भैया. My last question was going to be.
Thank you very much for these wonderful talks. Thank you so much for sharing these stories with us. I had one question for all our modern obsession with the married woman. When Veena Oldenburg did her field work and her research with some of the last living Tawaifs, she found that the deepest emotional and even sexual connection they had were with other women. Do you have any thoughts on this, any of the panel?
If marriage के ऊपर इतना भाव होता था, तो वीना ओल्डनबर्ग ने जब अपना रिसर्च किया था तो उसमें
मैं मिली थी उनसे।
established the fact that the deepest relationships that the women had were with other women, whether they were physical.
Oh, they were gay, they were lesbians.
Yeah, they were lesbians, yeah.
That is true, because the demand of a man, unless that romance goes, it can be very boring. और ये बेचारे मुसलमान लोग सिर्फ 4 शादी कर सकते हैं। देखिए, निकाह सिर्फ 4 ही कर सकते हैं, लेकिन मुता कर सकते हैं। जैसे वाजी अली खान साहब, हज़रत महल उनकी पहली बीवी थी, वो भी मुतवाइफ थी, लेकिन निकाह किया था, उनके 4 थे। उसके बाद 86 मुता वाली औरतें थी।
You get the difference, no? Muta is a little transaction.
is a contract.
Yeah.
I pay you so much, you are with me for so many days.
Yeah.
And that was agreed upon from both the sides.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a practice that continues even today in Gujarat, by the way. Maitri Karar, it's called. There was a hand there, then I'll come to you, sir.
No, here.
एक मिनट, वो लेडी का पहले करते हैं.
So I wanted to ask, as the wives have very strong gravity and feminine energy, so whenever an alpha violent king used to go there, was there any spiritual transformation in that king, because he discovers his feminine version also, because he must be envious of those rich cultural the wives. So was there any transformation must be happening in that man?
रीता जी, the question is कि जो तवाइफ रहती है वो very strong feminine energy होती है, तो जब कोई alpha male type उनके कोठे में या उनके साथ interact करे तो कोई transformation males में आती है? Has there been any record of something like that? Can you recall a story?
You see, this has what she's saying. She's accepting that they had physical relationship. No, that is.
She's not accepting. She's just saying कि कुछ चेंज आ जाए, कोई स्पिरिचुअल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन भी तो हो सकती कि कोई
औरतों की,
या
औरतों को,
और औरत भी स्ट्रांग हो और किंग भी स्ट्रांग हो तो कोई कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होती है?
नेचुरली होती है।
Yeah, actually, there is the dark side of this whole thing, which is often including stories that are not so pleasant, and as Rita ji is constantly underlined, it was a man's world, which continues.
You see, marriage to everyone, every woman, not that their experience marriage is the last word, but they insist तुम शादी कब करोगे? शादी तो बहुत बड़ी बात है। लड़की पैदा होने से ही उसको गुड़िया पकड़ाना जाता है, बाकी तो मैकेनो ये सब होता है, खरीद दिया जाता है।
So we have stories of some tawaifs who over their lives collected a lot of wealth, okay, but they yearned maybe for or became victims to sweet talking unethical men in the later years of their lives, and those men took advantage of these women then and left them bereft of any wealth. Such stories we do find in narratives around the tawaifs. Okay, so let's just leave it at this. Last question. Sorry sir, yes, yeah, of course, आपका question.
हाँ, मैं इलाहाबाद का हूँ, तो मैं ये पूछना चाह रहा था इन द
आप थोड़े खड़े हो जाएंगे।
इंडिपेंडेंस, बिफोर इंडिपेंडेंस ईस्ट पाकिस्तान और वेस्ट पाकिस्तान का म्यूज़िक पे बहुत इन्फ्लुएंस हुआ होगा, क्योंकि पिक्चरें भी वहाँ बहुत अच्छी बनती हैं, म्यूज़िक कल्चर भी बहुत अच्छा है, फूड कल्चर भी बहुत अच्छा है, तो वो डिस्कस नहीं हुआ।
देखिए, एक पटियाला घराना होता था, या एक पहले समझिए, ये जो म्यूजिशियंस फैमिली के एक ढाडी मिरासी कौम होता है, उनके औरतें नहीं गाती हैं, लेकिन आदमी लोग सिखाते हैं और उनकी पूरी कमाई इस औरत जिसको सिखाया उन्हें उसके ऊपर होता है। आई मीन इंक्लूडिंग कृष्ण महाराज, गुदय महाराज, दे ऑल यूज्ड टू सिट इन द, होता चौक होता ना जहाँ से आप रंग करने वाले को, कारपेंटर को ले आते, ऐसे ही लोग बैठे रहते थे। चलो भाई, आया सुरेश्वरी के घर आया, अरे चलो रसूलन के घर आया, तो उनको काम मिल गया वहाँ जाके बजाने के लिए। तो इस तरह से वो डिपेंडेंट होते थे कि वो शी इज़ द मेन अर्नर, बाकियों को गुरु को देना ही पड़ेगा 2 अन्नी, 16 आने में 2 अन्नी गुरु को देना है,
Actually,
2 अन्नी बजाने वाले को
yes,
देना है, और 2 अन्नी सारंगी वाले को देना है।
ये एस्पेक्ट अमृतलाल नागर ये कोठेवालिया में बहुत अच्छी तरह से एक्सप्लेन है, आप पढ़ सकते हैं ये किताब। दिस वाज अ बुक आई वांटेड टू मेंशन। दिस वाज द फर्स्ट बुक बाय द वे दैट आई रेड एंड एंटर द लाइव्स ऑफ द तवाइफ्स।
Like बड़े गुलाम अली खान साहब was a सारंगिया, he was not a singer at all। दीवाना बनाना है, उसमें बड़े गुलाम अली खान साहब कोई संगत है। अब उस ज़माने में तवाइफ कहना बहुत इज्जत की बात होती थी, ये बड़ी बात है, ये समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि उसको जब वो ले गई अख्तरी को, उसका नाम था बिब्बो, अख्तरी नहीं था, बिब्बो की, और बिब्बो हैड अनदर ज़ोहरा, बिब्बो सैयद और ज़ोहरा सैयद, ट्विन सिस्टर्स थे of a lady called मुश्तरी बेगम, whom लखनऊ के एक नवाब घराने के आदमी ने, who was a lawyer, married, बाकायदा निकाह किया था, लेकिन इजाज़त नहीं दी थी। थोड़ी दिन बाद जब उसके घर को पता चला, she came from a very rich family and the people said तुमको हम प्रॉपर्टी से डिवोर्स कर देंगे, नहीं आपको मिलेगा, तो वो क्या करते, वो आना ही बंद कर दिए। इन द मीन टाइम मुश्तरी गिव बर्थ टू 2 चिल्ड्रन, जिसका नाम रखा है बिब्बो और ज़ोहरा, बट दे वर द सन डॉटर्स ऑफ सैयद घराना, सो दे वर गिवन सैयद, सो देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन ऑफ देयर लर्निंग म्यूजिक। All on a sudden, that lady who came to know made their life miserable. They were Shias, So they were singing, doing source marsiya. They read girls and औरतों की मरसिया पढ़ने की जगह और आदमी के अलग होते हैं, लेकिन सब शिया लोग पढ़ते हैं 10 दिन। ये लोग वहाँ पढ़ने गए थे। कोई आके दौड़ के आके कहा कि तुम्हारे घर में तो आग लगा दी गई। यानी जहाँ मुश्तरी बेगम 2 बच्ची को लेकर अकेली रहती थी, उनका हस्बैंड आना बंद कर दिया था, कभी कभी पैसे भेज देते थे, वो आग में जल गई और बाहर से छिटकी लगी थी। देन शी रियलाइज्ड अब यहाँ इस घर में नहीं रह सकते। दैट्स हाउ शी वेंट टू गया। एक दूर मामा के थे वहाँ पे जिनके दे वर चाइल्डलेस, सो उनके घर जाके वो रह गए। वहाँ पर उसने कहा कि चलो हम लोग इसको स्कूल में डालते हैं। यहाँ पे उसने मिशन स्कूल में डाल दिया था दोनों बच्चों को। तो उसके दूसरे दिन उसकी खाला थी आंटी नहदापा, हम लोग कल कुल जाएंगे, निया कप्पा निया मोजा, और बहुत खुश रहे थे। बोले
Rita ji, since we're running out of time, can I just say that this story and many others around Begum Akhtar can be found in Rita ji's book,
Mohabbat.
yeah,
Reminiscing Begum
Mohabbat.
Akhtar.
Yeah, Reminiscing Begum Akhtar, and the book is still available on Amazon, right?
I was supposed to.
I got it last from Amazon. Are there any questions? Yes.
One question, that it is said that the Britishers came to India, but they had educated ladies there who were, nice wining and dining. So why were they against the women who were here, who were so equally educated and cultured? What was the issue? Was the insecurity?
I think a quick answer would be my reference to the sexuality. Discomfort with levels of sexuality. Those women were monogamous, and these women were not necessarily monogamous. They retained the right in many cases to assert their agency. Any other question? Otherwise, yes, we have a question hand there. And sorry, यहाँ पे किसी ने बोला. Oh, I'm sorry. The light is so bright. I saw your hand, Hanji. माइक किसको जल्दी पहुंचाया जा सकता है? I will.
Yes.
Yes, you're audible.
My question is that while because all of you have worked a lot of detail and you have unearthed a lot of stories, it started by Manafali talking about his movies about human helplessness. When I hear the stories about the Tawaifs, it is about discipline, it is about hard work, it is about practice, it is about having their own identity. Now, nostalgia is great. Is there a way, and especially because we have filmmakers and practitioners here, is there a way of bringing it to modern life and make it more relevant for the generation today? Because yes, we can repent that it is an art which has died and stuff like that, but like we hear the same thing about Dhrupad, and so there are so many art forms which are kind of getting into that. Is there a way of kind of bringing it back?
Bringing back that lifestyle, or the art at least.
The whole lifestyle in India today has changed. I mean, there are people who are singing, now the professional singing, like Lata has no children. Asha had children, but they died. She committed suicide. इन लोगों के पास कोई बच्चे नहीं है. अब Kishori Amonkar, from that thing, she does have a girl who cannot sing for nuts. But we are all trying to make her sing. That ambience where you can go and listen to somebody.
But I think the situation is also encouraging in some manners, and I'd request Muzaffar ji to talk about it, because you've been associated with some of the efforts that dancers and singers have made to do some revivals.
Actually, it's a question of आपने जो फरमाया ना कि अब इसकी कोई कदरदान है या नहीं है, तो सवाल ये कि जिन चीज़ों की हम बात कर रहे हैं, जिन कदरों की हम बात कर रहे हैं, वो आज के दौर में, आज के ज़माने में बहुत ज़रूरी हैं, क्योंकि वो इंसान को सेंसिटाइज करती हैं। उसमें शायरी होती है, शायरी दिल को छूती है, बातों को दिलों के अंदर दाखिल कराती है और मौसीकी को एक रंग देती है। तो ये सब चीज़ें जो हैं, ये दीज आर फाइनर subliminal arts, you know, and these can only come up and be promoted through this culture. You don't have to, I mean, it could be just a simple human story, you know. It doesn't have, don't have to go into that whole paraphernalia, but there's a whole treatment of how dance takes place. You know, and dance is a very big language, you know. Costumery is a big language. It is as sensitive today and for today than it was ever there before. Because I think today we need to know how to communicate our, you know, what shall I say, our aesthetics to society. And I think we are dealing with aesthetics of a very high level and a very human level. Because इसमें humanity और aesthetics का एक इतना fine balance है that it's an endless treasure house of what you can do, because especially, you know, women are great communicators of culture. And they can bring so many different nuances to life, you know. Each woman can tell a huge story, you know. So I think we are talking about something that is going to be always
I think
charged with.
Manjari ji has started doing that.
Manjari Chaturvedi.
Yeah,
so these-
good work. I mean, she wears beautiful jewelry and
आपकी
costumes.
designing or
She
inspiration.
worked with me as a child, and she's now grown, and she's now come of age, and she's got a persona of her own. you
So
know.
there are some young artists. आप मुझे याद है कि आपका सवाल है. Just to conclude, if I may take the liberty of my position here, there are some younger artists who are doing very interesting work on the residues that we have left, because we don't have a whole left anymore, but on the residues. And amongst them, Manjari Chaturvedi is one of them. She's long running, 15 years or something, the Courtesan Project. Rani Khanam has been doing Mehfil-e-Andaz or something like that.
For a
That
long
is-
time, Nandini Singh.
Yes, Nandini Singh too. Now Nandini ji is not dancing. Uma Sharma also did the Bhav Batana, that thing. But Gaane mein Vidya Shah comes to mind with her Women on Record. You know, all those people from the Tawaif tradition and the professional singing women tradition who went on to make records, you know, that the whole HMV recording machine was brought here, special studios were created. And Naveena's work is as a scholar.
he is not performing.
Naveena's work is as a scholar in the line of Sabha Diwan's writings and all that. And Naveena's PhD was spread over 5 cities that were traditional cities known for its music and dance culture, and a book is coming out, so keep an eye out for it. I don't know what she's calling it, but Naveena Jaffa is the name. And today I really miss all these people. They would have added much more to the discussion, but you know, you can't have so many people and hope still to stick to a 90-minute schedule, which we have now reached. So the last question, absolutely. Oh my God, hello, nice. If gentlemen are asking the questions, welcome. Please, yes, you first. आप भी एक second, वो पहले पूछ लें. हाँ, there is a gentleman who's been
Hello.
quite patient.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible to all?
Yes.
Okay. My question is to Muzaffar Ali, sir. Sir, you made Umrao Jan. That was the first movie from the parallel cinema which I saw as a child. And even as seeing that as a child, the journey of the characters which you took, be it from Umrao Jan's character from Amiran to Umrao Jan, and at the end when she comes back to her kotha and she cleans the mirror, she's content with her life as a Tawayaf. And at the end, we feel empathy towards every character, be it Bismillah Jan's, be it Khanam Jan, and all other the male characters as well. I want to ask you, sir, how are you able to achieve that in your film, that we as audience felt empathy for every character and the journey. We enjoyed the journey of the process of the film.
Actually, it's your own subliminal journey, you know what I mean? It's how you feel the character, how you internalize the character, how you create the trajectory of the character through her body movement, through her dance, through her poetry, because her poetry also goes through a certain graph, you know. It's been crafted for taking you to that height of making that final exclamation mark of helplessness, you know what I mean? So it's all a design. It's design in sound, it's design in color, it's design in costumery. So it's a very subliminal journey of my own, which is based on my own nostalgia. It's based on my own feeling for Lucknow, because if I was not from Lucknow, it is really a celebration of Lucknow, you know? And to get Lucknow right, you have to live it internally, you know, and to make Lucknow symbolic of a helpless girl in flesh and blood, it takes a different kind of an artistry, I think, you know what I mean?
Indeed, it was the quite beautiful film, because most of the films regarding the Tawayaf culture, like Anarkali, she's in दीवार में चुनवा दिया जाता है. पाकीज़ा में वो आखिर में उनको शादी करके शौहर के साथ वो चली जाती हैं. And I come from a background where I personally know a lady who was from Tawayaf background, and she was working in a bank, and she lived her life on her own terms, like an independent woman, without any judgment from the society.
So आपको जो अच्छा लगा ना,
कहानियों में कहानियां होती हैं,
आपका अपना फिल्टर था. So if you what is the difference now?
Anarkali was not a Tawayaf. She was actually Randi.
Since you organize a very big festival, that the Devdasi culture, the Sadir dance, has been revived by Dr. Swarnmalya Ganesh, and this time her guru from the Devdasi tradition got the Sangeet Natak Academy Award. Yes. So you see, you can really revive and energize even drying streams, you know. So, ab aapka sawal. We've been waiting for it for so long. Ab ye mic lijiye. People at the back won't be able to hear you.
Record bhi ho raha hai. Ab microphone lijiye.
Chaliye. Thank you.
So I also belong to Kanpur and Lucknow Awadh area. So I have seen all these culture and everything. So like as you mentioned regarding the Devdasi culture down south, and we have, and like if you know about this Brahmotsavam in Tirupati, we have this thing where they do perform this dance regarding some for the deity and everything. So like why this Tawayaf culture got diminished, got this negative tag actually? Is it because like we have this so much of cinema like in and around this culture, songs coming out, and certainly it affected something like in a negative pattern to this Tawayaf culture. So like how we can just improve this thing for our upcoming generations? Because like I think what I assume is like what I feel is like this Tawayaf culture has some sort of divinity, and it has to be appreciated like and built up in such a way so that like our upcoming generations have the knowledge about this thing.
So, do you want to add to his question? Do you want to answer something? Who would like to answer that question? Yeah, sure. Just 1 second. Let Meghna say a few words and then we'll pass the mic on to you.
No, I'm saying that Tawayafs don't exist anymore, but I think the scholars and platforms like Artree that you are doing now, and the scholars, more symposiums, more people interested in Tawayafs, and there are books there. Everyone is doing their part, their work. It's just when Bombay film industry makes a film, then there is एक मौका मिलता है एक बार और ऐसे महफिल होने का, वो वो ऐसे भी और ज़्यादा होंगे।
से हर डांसर या हर सिंगर खड़े होकर एक्नॉलेज करे कि प्रोग्राम से पहले के नमस्ते जो मैं आर्ट आपके सामने प्रेजेंट करने जा रही हूँ उसकी रूट्स बहुत पुरानी हैं और कितनी generations of women who have not been recorded in history have performed it. सबसे पहले मैं उनको नमन करती हूँ। कथक में तो खास करके कान खींचने की बहुत बड़ी आदत है, ठीक है ना? कब लड़की के नाम से तो कान नहीं खींचा गया है आज तक. So that's my thing.
Another thing I would say that institutions like Kathak, I mean just the fact that a dance form needed a full national level institution is there with a whole curriculum. It cannot be a very easy thing, you know, just trivializing it cannot, I mean, it's our classical dance.
But Kathak Kendra has no reference to any
Tawais. That's what I was...
or Tawaif repertoire or any of the adaigi that the Tawaifs were well known.
Reason being,
that's right. That's what I was saying.
अपना तुम्हारी ये लड़की जो नाचती है, when she was
Rani Khanam, Rani की बात
when she was admitted in the school, in the Kathak Kendra, the people from many of the known people, I mean I won't name them, they protested and they saw to it that Mr. Keshav Kothari's name is taken in Parliament. Why are they bringing the Tawaif's children in Kathak Kendra? Can you imagine? So it was backdoor thing.
Meghna, आप माइक देंगे पीछे? Please, just, yeah, thank you. Just take it.
Is this clear? All right. I think the whole stance of a Tawayef is, it's an exploration of vulnerability to have an expression, either as poetry or dance or music. I think this is something which is so deeply embedded, even in the modern day, in the context of women who are trying to forego the institutionalization of being a woman. I think it is not something which is only restricted to a certain culture within our country. Yes, it has to have roots somewhere, and given the dynamic of our culture, that's where it took root. But even in the modern context, if you look at it, any woman who's trying to break the norm or tradition embodies that spirit.
Correct.
To be able to say, I am a full-scale woman who's out to explore vulnerability, and I have a very strong expression, so I'm not a part of the traditional or the conventional, and therefore my vulnerability will invite the predatory instinct as well. And that, my dear friends, I think is the counter to the alpha male as the omega woman.
Correct.
Thank you very much. That really is the answer. That many of us have the spirit of the Tawaif in us, but none of us have the courage to say, I am the Tawaif of our times. Thank you very much, Rita ji. Thank you so much, Muzaffar Sahab. We are all looking forward to seeing the new film. Yes?
We would like to thank everyone, Rita ji, Muzaffar ji and Arshia. And it's been a very scintillating discussion, and I can see people enjoying themselves. And thank you for dispelling so many myths about it. You know, otherwise it had very negative connotations, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Arshia, Muzaffar ji, Rita ji, and of course, Pragati ji. We hope to carry on this discussion. And we have coffee and tea. I know it's kind of late, but please do join us if you feel like. And this museum has something to do with the ladies. If you see the facade, that picture on the facade is one of the most beautiful ladies, dancing ladies, shot by a German photographer in 1870. I found that image in Europe, and this dealer came to me and said, would you like to buy this? It was 800 euros. It was an original print. I said, no, can't afford. You must be joking. I gave him my card. He called me back late at night. She needs to go back to India. And he gave me the original. He said, pay me whatever you can. I gave him 80 euros. And he said, she needs to go back to India. So that's the story of that lady in the facade. Thank you very much. And please...